Ready. Hello and welcome to the 23rd episode of the Backburners. I'm Dylan Sherman.
And I'm Sam Tiller. And we want to thank you for lending us your ears for another hour of non-stop sports entertainment.
Oh.
Are you serious?
That was fun.
So for those watching on YouTube, you'll notice that one of us is not here today, and it's not me. As you can see, in the place where Sam Tiller usually sits a tombstone because Sam Tiller is not with us today. I have prepared something for him. If you want to get a close-up of that, Trav, go right ahead. Samuel Ronald Tiller, a beloved friend, co-host, and dirtbag. And I included some very special pictures of him to remember him. He's currently out of town, but that doesn't mean the Backburners doesn't stop going, baby. We have a very special show today because we are joined by, of course, Chef LaRocca.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
First time on camera. How does it feel?
Weird. I don't know how I feel about it, but you know.
It's okay. Luckily, you're just on the wide shot.
Yeah.
Nothing's too close up, so that's
I do know Sherm's dad has been requesting more of me on camera. I'm sure some other fans have requested that.
Well, I don't know. There might be some creeps out there that really like just looking at like the top of your kneecaps. That's always in the wide shot normally.
Well, no, during the live shows, there was a lot of buzz about Chef's feet.
My feet.
Was it about Chef's feet, or I thought it was,
about
Tiller?
Tiller's feet.
Yeah, Tiller's feet was.
I think my feet were maybe in it for like a second.
I think this is going to transition into a foot fetish.
I hope
sports
not.
podcast.
I don't want that.
An athlete's foot.
Ew.
I mean, how many people are out here podcasting with their feet out though? You know,
Right.
it's an
Far and few between.
yeah, it's really like an unseen market. You know,
I'd like to explore it. I'd like to explore that space a
Would
little
you?
bit. I would.
Maybe you could do an episode where you and Tiller are both not wearing anything and you just wear like pillows like right here.
Right.
Yeah.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers did a concert, Socks on Cocks.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll do something like that.
You guys could just both wear Speedos. You already have
We
one.
could. I have a variety of Speedos.
Yeah. I'm not sure Tiller will want to use one of your used Speedos though.
No.
Also, you guys are going to be sitting down, so that angle is going to be.
Yeah, you're gonna have
I
to
don't know
get
if
it.
the Speedo's going to cover that much.
We're gonna have to. It's gonna be a shoulders up podcast. So like I said, Sam Tiller is out of town because simply he doesn't care about this podcast enough to be in town, to be present for it. But don't worry.
I don't know what you're talking about. He's right there.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
he's
Sorry.
right
I mean,
next
it's,
to
yeah,
me.
of course. I found some pictures of him on Facebook. Let's see. There's one where he looks like he's at a luau with a nice burly Hawaiian man. There's one where he is looks like he's about to have a colonoscopy, maybe, perhaps. And then there's one where he's just straight swag, wife beater, some shorts. He will join us later via phone call. So he's not too far away, but I don't want him to know about the tombstone until he listens to it tomorrow. But anyways, this is a sports podcast hosted by one former jock whose sports knowledge is a mile wide and an inch deep. Whether it's breaking down the latest slate of professional, college, and obscure sports, or debating the best game day traditions, we've got you covered. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Backburners Pod, and give us a listen on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Pods.
I mean, you still have a second former jock here.
Fabio?
That was funny.
Thank you.
It seemed really genuine because I was like, wait, I did play like lacrosse in high school. And then I was like, oh, wait, maybe the collegiate athlete might want to chirp in.
Okay, I'm preparing for our first guest. Our first guest is not Sam Tiller tonight. This is a man who I lived with for 2 years. He is such an interesting soul, this one. I can't wait to talk to him. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Salmon.
Talk to me.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Welcome back to the Backburners.
Wow. Happy to be here.
I'm glad.
It's an honor.
You, of course, are taking Sam Tiller's spot because he is currently in the great state of Montana wrestling bears and starting forest fires. So I'm thankful that you're here to take his spot. Really, it really means a lot to me, you know. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
of course. So we of course have some segments ready to roll out. Let's get into some I disagree. And you thought of a great prompt. So can you introduce it, please?
Yeah. So, I mean, the whole start of the season, the whole big talk was comeback player of the year. Who's it going to be? He's going to be Dak coming off. Joe Burrow, Saquon was like the big talking 3 points. And we both disagree that was probably a pretty good one right now as we are going into week 9. So, I mean, if you want to kick it off, go right ahead.
I think that the comeback player of the year thus far is Dak Prescott. He has led the Cowboys to a 6-1 record. They are atop the NFC East, even though the NFC East is essentially probably the worst division in football. Regardless, he has been balling. He has weapons out the ass. Let's see. He's thrown for, thus far,
1,813 yards.
That's right. 16 touchdowns, which is tied for 8th in the league. He's thrown 4 picks. His QBR isn't great, but QBR, it's a load of shit. I think it's Dak. The way in which he's come back and performed after his horrific injury with a compound fracture and a broken ankle, he's been nothing but impressive this season. A bit of a fantasy disappointment, Dak Prescott, for me. I'm currently last in our league right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels unfamiliar because usually I make it to the winner's bracket of the playoffs. I don't necessarily win, but we haven't really figured out a punishment yet. But I think the punishment's going to be that the loser of the league has to perform stand-up comedy, saying jokes written by the rest of the members of the league.
Ooh.
And let me just tell you who's in the league here. We have Sam Tiller, of course. We have Matthias Warrow, Blake Bibby.
Oh, no.
We have Nick Coleman. We have, I'm trying to think who else. Just some real, Bubba, of course. Some really horrible people that if I lose are going to make me say some horrible, heinous shit.
It's not even going to be jokes.
Right,
It's just going to be
of
fucked
course.
up shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they're not going to give me jokes. They're going to give me they're going to make me say horrible shit. And
the
You might insinuate a hate crime.
I might start a hate crime.
Well, you're the
Unfortunately,
only one of that whole squad though that would have the balls to actually like perform this though.
that's yeah. And
Right.
you know, there's a part of me that you know, I've been trying to write some sort of stand up. There's a part of me that if I lose this punishment, I'll go up there and just
Crush.
crush and do my own jokes and just won't do what they tell me to do. Anyways,
Right.
You can
right.
use their
I mean,
premises.
And you know that I'm used to kind of being in the bottom of the barrel of that fantasy
mhm.
year in and year out as the punishment has proven itself on my body forever. But this year, I'm in 3 different leagues. First place in 2 of them. And then, of course, in the one sleeper, I hate sleeper, 3rd place, whatever. But not bottom of the barrel, not getting any ass tests this year. Not gonna lose.
Have you had any
We're
other
doing great.
have you had any other rough punishments besides the ass tat?
One of them is just doing a walk of shame down the San Diego boardwalk in a banana hammock with everyone behind you. Basically Game of Thrones.
Wow.
Bells.
That's pretty good.
Or walk of shame, shame, shame. You have to walk the whole 2 miles with everyone behind you.
My
Midday
God.
on a Saturday afternoon. So that would be but glad that I'm not losing that league. No, other than that, really nothing else too bad. The worst one is the one league that I've been in for years, and it was just getting asked at, which We're 2 down. We are 2 seasons down, and that was 2 years in a row. So that was a bad one.
What
But
was the STAT that you got?
The first one was actually by your own very own artist, Travis Hawker. He gave me the purple fish, like the little stick figure.
No, that was Heiser actually.
That one was Heiser actually. Yes, that was Heiser.
Yeah, I don't think I ever marked you.
No. Oh yeah, on my ankle.
Oh yeah.
And then the next year we had to add to that, so they added a little stick figure with a fishing pole, fishing the fish out of my ass crack.
Sure.
Oh,
So,
no.
Sure.
that is where we're at now.
It's every fisherman's
okay.
dream is to find an ass fish.
Right. Especially my last name, it all kind of works out. But you know what? We prevail and we go upstream, baby, because that's what we're all about. But now, just to kind of go off of what you're saying with Dak, I get it. Dak's been doing good. QB rating right now is a 115 compared to Joe Burrow at a 108. Joe Burrow is going to be my guy this year just because think about it. 2 teams. Dak has weapons, probably best O-line in the league. He has weapons at the yin yang. He's got CeeDee Lamb, who's been absolutely exploding. Got him on fantasy. He's been a great pickup. Amari Cooper. Think about it. Amari Cooper has 5 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb has 4 touchdowns. Basically almost making up more than half of those two, making up more than half of his touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And with Carrot Top Cooper Rush getting that W against the Vikings.
It was a big win.
Dak out of it. A big win, huge win. I mean, with the Cowboys being 6-1, Dak is 5-1. Which they are first in the NFC East, fourth in the NFC. But Joe Burrow, I mean, okay, 5-3. You're dealing with the Bengals. When was the last time the Bengals were ever good? Not even with Carson Palmer, they weren't even decently good. But they do have some absolute weapons. Jamar Chase, electric. He makes up a third of all of his touchdowns. He has so Joe Burrow has 2,215 passing yards compared to Dak Prescott's 1,800. He has 167 completions. Dak 158. Burrow has 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Whereas you said Dak had 16 with 4 interceptions. They're right now second in the AFC North, 5th in the AFC total. So, I mean, they have Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd. Okay.
T. Higgins.
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins also. But those are the top 2 targets right there on yards. Jamar Chase has 786 receiving yards. Tyler Boyd has 400 less yards than him in receiving. 398 exact. So, I mean, obviously, Dak has the better record, the better team. But honestly, turning around and off a nasty injury. But Joe Burrow, for his ACL, he was probably going to be Rookie of the Year right behind Herbert. So, I mean, it was totally a fucking toss-up. And then that injury happened. So why not? I mean, he's been coming back electric with an absolute mediocre average team. I mean, 5-3 Cincinnati. Come on. It's the only team they really care about. No one cares about the Indians. Or Cleveland. Totally wrong.
The Indians.
Totally wrong.
They're in baseball.
Yeah, no, totally wrong. But well, yeah, I know, but that's the only really professional team that they ever cared about. So I'm gonna stick with Burrow. We'll see how this rolls out. But I think those are the only 2 real contenders at the end of the day this far in the season. What I think.
No question. And last year, everyone in the league, it seemed like every star was hurt. Whether it was Burrow, Dak, Saquon. Wasn't Christian McCaffrey horrendously hurt last year? You had maybe Bosa. You had George Kittle. There were so many injuries last year. Zeke was out. It's going to be between. Yeah, it's going to be between these 2. But
I have a list of everyone else. So you had Nick Bosa, you had Julio Jones, Carson Wentz, Sam Darnold. Who cares? OBJ, Joe Mixon, and Jameis. Hurt again. ACL.
Hurt again.
Tear. What's going on? Yeah.
Well, we'll get into him a little bit later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be between these 2. I mean, especially at the quarterback position. This is a quarterback-centric league. There's no question that it's the Bengals have been impressive. Joey B has been balling out. There's no question about that. I'm just looking at the record right now. I mean, let me see. They beat the
The only tough one was last week. Last week coming off the Jets loss. That one really put a damper on it right now. But
yeah,
we'll see.
That was just something. I don't know if that was an anomaly. I don't know what the hell that was, but that was a shit show on wheels.
And neither of these teams really have easy schedules for the rest of the season.
Let's see.
None of them were cakewalks. I mean, I've got it pulled up right here. I mean, Cowboys have got getting Broncos, okay, whatever, Falcons, whatever. Then they've got Chiefs, Raiders, Saints, Washington football team, Giants, go back to Washington football team, Cardinals, and then they end up with the Eagles. Okay, you maybe pick up 2 guaranteed wins right there. Broncos, Falcons. Chiefs could be tough because they might pull it together. They might pull their head out of their ass real quick. Who knows? Raiders, it's in Dallas. Who knows? That's a huge matchup. I mean, they could turn out real strong at the end of the season. They could turn a corner and just ball out, lose against the Cardinals. Then going on to the Bengals, it's not a cakewalk either. They've got Browns. I think Browns can take that W if Baker's a little more rested up. I mean, that shoulder. I mean, the shoulder. But then they go Raiders, Steelers, Chargers, Niners, Broncos, Ravens, Chiefs, Browns again.
Yeah, the Bengals have a rough schedule ahead of them. They have a gauntlet.
Yeah.
They got to go they have to go to Vegas. They get 3 home games. They have to go to Denver, and they finish at the Browns. The AFC is looking like the dominant conference right now. Even with
100%.
the Chiefs out of contention at the moment, because Lord knows what the hell is happening to them. I have no clue. Nobody can figure it out. I mean, their defense sucks balls, and I don't know what's happening. It took them down to the final few minutes of the game last night to beat the Giants, the New York Football Giants.
That was terrible. But you know what? I was loving it because I had Tariq Hill on my team, fantasy. The guy I was playing against that week, he had Mahomes. So I was like, you know what? Let's just have a mediocre game here real quick. So I was already up ahead in the week. I was going to win the week already before the game. So I was like, okay, let's just hope that this works out for the better. In my favor, obviously. That Mahomes doesn't do that well. Just don't even throw the ball. Just don't even do anything. So all worked out last night, but
I'm trying. Nobody can diagnose what's wrong with the Chiefs right now.
I don't know. Yeah, there's really nothing. Because on paper, they are still one of the best teams. But I don't know. The NFC is a total crapshoot on who shows up. Because it's like you have the Packers who are in a 3-way tie for first with the Cardinals and the Rams. Cardinals. I get it. Okay, you've got some absolute weapons on the team, but is that really going to roll out? I mean, it's going to be a crapshoot in both divisions, but I think NFC in total is going to be a crapshoot. But it depends on how the Titans roll back with bringing in AP and Boise State's very own McNichols.
That's right, Jeremy. I totally forgot about him.
Picked him up today from on waivers.
That isn't. I don't think that's a bad pickup because they're
because they're going to be swapping reps. But the thing is, AP's so fucking old. I mean, and with Julio Jones in and out, questionable. They're going to have to run the ball a little bit more, anyways.
I would agree with you. Yeah, I think it's a toss up between those two for comeback player of the year. I mean, you can easily make a case for either player because they're both playing out of their minds. And I don't know if the whole team should. Obviously, the team shouldn't have an effect on it, but they're both balling out. So it's really up for debate. You're probably going to be grasping at straws by the end of the season. Well, that was fantastic. How about we get into some? Are you serious?
Are you serious?
You gotta be joking my ass.
Yeah, you gotta be joking my ass. Why don't you kick off our Are You Serious debate?
All right. Guarantee no one's ever heard of this man until this past weekend. His name is Mike White. Western Kentucky. 2018 draft drafted by the Cowboys in 2018, fifth round, 171st pick by Dallas. Was cut 5 times. Cut 5 different times. Picked up an absolute W with the Jets over the Bengals. I mean, the man threw for 405 yards, 37 for 45, 3 tuds, great, 2 interceptions. That's just what you get for playing with the Jets. And you know what? He's named the starter against the Colts. So we'll see if he can keep that up or if that was just a one-time thing right there. But there was a pretty insane bet that I saw. That someone put up $1,000 on a sportsbook for Mike White to lead the NFL in passing yards this past weekend. Put down $1,000, cashed out $125,000.
Holy shit!
Yeah, insanity. Who the fuck thinks? Oh, Mike White, Jets, gonna cash out most yards, passing yards in the NFL week 8.
Fuck crypto. I need to get on.
Let's just burn $1,000. Let's just burn $1,000 real quick. Nope, fuck it. We're gonna win $124,000.
I mean, it's either you dump it in this or like you put it on Doge or something. So,
Shiba.
Sheba.
Dude, Sheba's it's going
Nuclear.
Yeah, that game was insane. I mean, dude, Mike White sounds like a guy who's coming into your house to replace your fucking sink. Throws for 405 yards. Huh?
Yeah. No, yeah. He comes to fix your sink and then ends up sleeping with your wife. But the other thing is, the only other, like, what the fuck that I could even think of was Lions. I love it. I love watching it. I love watching Jared Goff get absolutely spanked out there. I've never liked him. Fresno State, can never like him. Hate the Raiders, hate him. Whatever he or Rams, fucking Rams, like, I just love watching him get spanked. It's funny because Jack Sanchez had him on a pick'em league. He goes, you know what? They're at home. He's going to pick up his first W. And I said, you better not do that. Did it, and they just got absolutely bent over.
They did not get their first W. They got blown out.
Yeah, fantastic.
On this show, I've had much praise for Detroit's coach, Dan Campbell. He is a guy that I would run through a wall of bricks for.
Yeah.
And I want to see him succeed, and I want to see him win because I think he's Detroit's coach. I think he's the guy. But it's really tough to be the guy when your quarterback is Jared Goff.
Did you see what Campbell was saying about him after, I think it was week 7?
Didn't he call him out?
Step up.
Yeah.
He in the press conference post game because he needs to step up. What does Jared need to do? He needs to step up. He needs to produce. He needs to do more. It's like when a coach says that about you, you really fucked up. You really need to pull your head out of your ass and do something.
Yeah, I mean, they have a couple of weapons in DeAndre Swift and TJ Hawkinson, but that's pretty much it. I mean, that's it. I don't know what they do. I think it's between them and the Jags really for the top draft spot this year. So who knows what's going to happen?
Burn the season. Who cares? Take the first pick. Burn it. Who fucking cares?
Okay. For my Are You Serious? This is a man who is just one of the most unbelievable human beings I've ever witnessed in my life. And it is Saints quarterback Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston went down in the second quarter, I believe, of this past.
Nasty.
Yeah, it was a nasty, gnarly knee injury. I'm just watching it right now. It is. Oh, ooh. Okay, that's bad. Let's stop watching that.
Yeah.
He could potentially be out for the rest of the season with a torn ACL and a damaged MCL. That's not good. But what does Jameis Winston do after the game? The Saints beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a fantastic game.
Gets down with the boys.
He gets down with the boys. He's on crutches. He's dancing around like he has no injury. He's acting like like his MCL and his ACL don't exist. And he's just dancing around. he's vibing. And I get it. You're hyped up. You won. You beat the best team in football. But you pick both crutches up in the air, and you're dancing around on your healthy knee. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like, are you serious?
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Pretty nasty. He probably didn't realize how bad it was. He probably just gave him some cortisone shots, and he was chilling.
He's also probably hammered.
I don't know.
They definitely juiced him up with some painkillers so he didn't feel anything. So I get it. The boys just won. Next man up, Taysom. Let's go. Pick him up off waivers. Let's go, Taysom Hill.
Listen, I don't know what to think about Taysom Hill because the entire city of New Orleans is so hyped about this guy. And I get it. He's one of those football players who doesn't have a position. He, he's the quarterback, but also he can run like a receiver. I don't understand why everyone is so hyped about him. He's not that impressive of a quarterback when you look at it from a pure quarterback's perspective. He's not the guy who's going to.
No one gave him a chance.
No one gave him a
chance.
But
he came from Utah State, tore his ACL twice in college against the same team. I think it was Utah. They were playing Utah or BYU in both those games, I think. One of the two. Tore his ACL in both the games in 2 different seasons. Comes to the NFL, everyone knows he's injury prone. He comes in, he's just a fucking utility guy. That's all he is. Some white guy named Taysom Hill. Okay, he's going to come truck you at the goal line and score a touchdown, play quarterback, play shotgun, play the pistol, fucking do whatever. That's why I like him. He's a fellow white boy.
I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm just saying that from a quarterback's perspective, that is not going to be the guy who's going to take New Orleans to the Super Bowl. He's just not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But the entire city acts like he is the second coming of football. And I get it. He's exciting to watch. He's fun to watch. He can truck you. I mean, he has a pretty decent arm, but I just don't understand all of the hype around him. I mean, he's a utility guy, and they're treating him like he's Tom Brady. He's the Tom Brady of Bourbon Street.
Yeah, couldn't tell you that one. Don't know, but I mean, he does come in clutch on some clutch plays there, goal line. That's all he's really good for.
He does. Let's get into some.
Maybe we should throw a G on him this week for most passing yards. See what happens.
Yeah,
rushing yards. Let's go rushing yards by quarterback.
I'm good, thank you. I retired from sports betting during the NBA Finals. Lost a lot of money on the Suns, so I haven't bet since June, July. I can't do it.
How's your betting been going, Salmon?
Actually, I've been taking the past couple weeks off. One pretty big, one pretty decent the past couple weeks. Took a break because still waiting to get paid out as per usual on every other bookie out there. Waiting to get paid out. So canceled that account. Taking a break until World Series is over. Once we get to playoffs, once we get to NFL playoffs, and I mean we were doing pretty good there though. I mean, obviously we're not even. No one's even, but had some pretty good weeks that past month.
Good luck to you on the rest of the season. Good luck in your betting endeavors because
I appreciate it. I'm gonna need it.
Yeah. Let's get into some quote of the day. We haven't done this in a while. I will invite you to kick this one off.
All right, sweet. I got a couple here actually. So this first one is by the Speed Channel, Racing Channel. There you go. Hosted by Bob Barsha. So here's the quote: "The drivers have 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the clutch, and 1 foot on the throttle." Formula One is far more intricate than we intentionally believe, but let's add 1 foot to the mouth. Come on. Next one, Chad Ochocinco. Come on. I traveled to all 51 states, but to see who can stop number 85. We're still waiting to hear back about the last one.
God. Yeah. We've talked about
IQ of a 12-year-old.
IQ of a 12-year-old. We've talked about Chad Ochocinco in this podcast before.
Yeah.
And he's just something else, really. when it comes down to it. And when you look at the things he's done in the
Freak
league,
of nature.
he's a freak of nature. He is a man who once tried to bribe a referee with a $1 bill. With a one, not even a $100 bill. He slipped.
Proposed to one of the cheerleaders too.
He what?
I'm pretty sure he proposed to one of the cheerleaders as well.
You know what he did? I think he totally did.
He did.
Yeah, he is out of his mind. He's fun to watch. He was fun to watch in his heyday. But yeah, I can't get over the fact that he's a man who tried to bribe a ref out of picking up a penalty flag for $1.
I bet you he's probably one of the only guys out there who's got touchdown receptions and PAT completions.
That's right. He kicked what? One PAT? Two PATs?
Maybe one or two. That's about it. But other than that, impressive. There is one more. This one's pretty decent. He's a 3-time Masters champion. Name is Jimmy Dimmerat. And so golf and sex are the only thing you can enjoy without being good at them. But also buffalo wings, because those things get messy. That was pretty decent coming from a golfer.
So true. So true, though.
Yeah.
I like that even a pro is that self-aware.
Even at the end of it, he goes, and buffalo wings, because those can get messy. So, I mean, think about it. Think about it for a second. Let that ponder for a minute.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. So true. True words have never been spoken, honestly. Wow. Look, you have curated some fine quotes, my friend.
Appreciate it. That's what I'm good at.
Excuse me. For my quote of the day, this is a man who has also been featured on this program before. This is Montana Tech's former football coach, Bob Green. After a poor performance, he said thusly, "Well, we got to practice a little bit. I want these guys to be bouncing around like a pogo stick on Viagra."
Practice.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I think we played a compilation of his quotes before. He is nothing but a bunch of metaphors and similes. He's so fun. I want these guys to be bouncing around like a pogo stick on Viagra.
What was that guy's name?
Bob Green. Bob Green.
I think we did. Yeah, we played like a whole compilation of all of his.
There's like a 5-minute YouTube compilation of Bob Green just talking to reporters. And Tiller has said a couple of quotes for our quote of the day by Bob Green. He's something else. Like a pogo stick on Viagra. That's a nice, I feel like that's a high country saying.
Quite interesting.
You know who's also got some great quotes out there is Mike Leach. Mike Leach is an absolute legend, and he's got some of the best quotes out there.
He does.
I just gave him a quick Google, and it was like, well, you're going to be dead in 100 years anyway, so live dangerously.
Yeah, he's also, him and Bob Green are such unique personalities. And when Mike Leach was at Wazoo, I felt like it was just a perfect marriage between how crazy he was and how crazy Pullman is. It was a match made in heaven, really.
Yeah, and here's another one about Mike Leach. Quote unquote, Mississippi State has 2 pretty looking quarterbacks.
I just saw that one.
He was also the guy. There was a moment where I think it was maybe during the opening press conference for the Pac-12, like the media day, where a reporter asked him to go, when he was still at Wazoo, to go through every coach in the Pac-12 to see who would win in just like an ultimate gladiator fight. And then also, I think they asked him to do the same thing for the mascots of the Pac-12 schools. And he was going, and he was like, well, you got, the cougar, and you got the husky, and you got, well, the duck will fly away, but the sun devil, stab somebody with its trident, and the bearcat will eat something. It's just like him going on and on. He is out of his mind, Mike Leach.
I love him, and I love him at Wazoo. And I mean, the guy's a legend. I mean, obviously, Wazoo's moved on to Nick Rolovich.
Well,
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Wazoo loved Leach, though. They were very big fans. What was it? They had a something Leach, like a phrase that they would say that was super annoying if you didn't go there.
I guess
It was like preach Leach or like something like that. It was.
Yeah, I think it was something along those lines. Yeah.
Well,
Speaking of college football, how are you liking the Ducks right now?
I am loving the college football playoff rankings right now. I'm shocked, really. 1 Georgia, 2 Bama, 3 Michigan State, 4 Oregon, 5 Ohio State, 6 Cincinnati. The top 6, was going to be obviously the most put under the microscope. I am so happy that the playoff committee realized that Oregon had a better strength of schedule, a better strength of record, and also beat Ohio State.
Right. No, that's huge.
Yeah, because the AP thought otherwise and thought that Ohio State was a better team. But I'm glad that the committee realized that, like, hey, here are the indicators why we should put Oregon ahead of Ohio State, and this is why. And it showed. I was out while they were going on, while the ranking show was going on. I'm trying to think. I'm looking right now if there's anything noteworthy. Wake Forest at 9.
Yeah, Wake Forest. That is the big shell shocker there. They have just been on fire. But you also got to think about who they're playing. Like Vanderbilt, Bowling Green. Who else are they playing?
I don't even know. But that's I mean, I think it's one of those things where every year we get into it with even though Wake Forest is in a Power 5 conference, it's the same debate.
Like the year that UCF.
Right. It's the whole thing of how do you rank these teams that whether they're non-Power 5 or whether they are Power 5, they have a great record, but their strength of schedule is dog shit. But again, they're undefeated, so how do you treat them? Wake Forest at 9, a bigger shock to me. I guess not shock, but just I'm not surprised it happened. Oklahoma drops to 8.
Yeah. Is there any more input on where Rattlers are going to go?
No idea. I had a prediction that, not me. Our intern predicted that Rattler would leave.
Well, no. He's fucking out of there. Brother. He's gone. He's going to transfer, but the big question is, where is he going to go? Is he going to go to? I don't know.
Right. The whole debate is he going to declare for the league or is he going to enter the transfer portal? No idea. No, I think it's up for debate really because nobody knows what he's going to do.
Right. Speaking of the Pac-12 previously, so have you heard that bowl game over at SoFi this year?
At where?
SoFi Stadium.
Is that
Chargers-Rams Stadium?
Is that the LA Bowl?
The Jimmy Kimmel Los Angeles Bowl. So named after Jimmy Kimmel, and it's going to be the number 1 from Mountain West. It's probably SDSU right now currently, and then the number 4 from Pac-12.
Number 4 from the Pac-12. Okay.
Yeah, check that real quick.
Let me double check.
Check who might be currently on 4th in Pac-12 because that could be a pretty decent, pretty fun bowl game to go to. Check out SoFi, do all that. It'd be kind of good.
Jimmy Kimmel is the main sponsor?
Yep.
It's called the Jimmy Kimmel Los Angeles Bowl, and it's at SoFi Stadium, which is supposed to be absolutely incredible.
Is that that's the new stadium, right?
That is the Rams.
New stadium.
Yeah.
Rams and Chargers, right next to LAX.
Is that the one that has the ginormous TV on the side that people drive on the freeway and look at the TV and potentially crash their car? Genius.
Okay, so let's see. For the Pac-12, well, the problem is that, let me see. It's not organized. It's just organized in North and South. But some contenders for the LA Bowl would be Oregon State, Wazoo, Arizona State, UCLA, USC.
See, it'd be sweet if you got one of those LA teams in there. If you got USC or UCLA in there, they're going to pack that place. I think that would be electric. If they got San Diego State and either the UCLA or USC in there, it's all Southern California. That would be packed house. Probably pretty easy to get tickets to.
The Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl.
Get Boise State in there. Half of California would be there anyways.
Yeah, well, too bad Boise State is 4-4, about to become 4-5. They can't pull it out with Fresno State.
Well, we got fucking Hanks doing whatever, and then we got Cyrus is too busy hitting on Addison Ray to fucking play.
Don't disrespect Cyrus. He'll probably come back.
I'm just kidding. He was super cool, but it was an easy grab.
Hey, I mean, shoot your shot. I have definitely sent some wild DMs out there in the dark.
You have. And,
when I'm a few deep, guaranteed. There's no chance I haven't.
But let's talk about you sliding in DMs.
Same with our other girls, Sherman on TikTok.
Yeah, Susie Vidal.
Yeah.
I love.
Come on.
She's my TikTok
Come
crush.
on.
No, she's my TikTok crush. No question, Susie Vidal.
Me and Kurt's TikTok crush is now dating Swaco the child, and she's from Boise apparently.
Swaco's sober, believe it or not.
Lame.
Who the fuck is Swaco? I sound like a boomer. Who is this Swaco the child?
He's brilliant. He made that song. He's like fast 400 on the dash. That song, and then he made that like Paralyzed song. It was like a punk rock song recently. He hasn't really made that much music, but he's like pretty big on like TikTok, I guess. He has like blue hair at some point, and he has a throat tattoo.
Is it one of those like rappers that like when Pete Davidson and Timothy Chalamet were on SNL and they were like,
yeah,
"You never love me"?
Oh
Mom.
yeah. He's one of those. I heard the funniest thing on Pete Davidson that like Kim Kardashian was all upset that her other sisters are dating punk rock dudes now, so she just had to find another white skinny dude with tattoos. And Pete Davidson was the first one that came along, and I was like, I don't know why I never thought of it like that. Yeah, they're just all looking for like a skinny white dude covered in tats with black bags under his eyes.
Anyone who's been to rehab.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, currently sober, used to have a heart addiction.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Awesome.
Well, Salmon, thank you so much for filling in.
I appreciate you contacting me. Come on here. It's always a pleasure.
Of course, we love having you on.
Yo, November, when you come up, we should get you in the stew.
I mean, I'll be there in 2 weeks. Suicide Boys.
Ew. Ooh.
Baby boy.
The night of the concert's the night we record the podcast, so we might have to figure out some scheduling on that. But yeah, we should definitely try to get you in while you're here.
I'm 100% down. Just let me know.
Beautiful. All right, pal. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you, and we will talk to you soon.
All right, team. Thank you for having me.
All right.
See you guys soon.
Later. Wasn't that fun? Isn't that just a fun one?
Always a pleasure with Salmon.
Always a treat.
Always a treat. Wow, we've already 45 minutes.
Blown through.
Wow.
Yeah, that went by quick.
Wow. Before we call the other half, my other half, I should say.
How adorable.
I know. I have to clear some controversy. Last week, we interviewed Cyrus Habibi-Likio, number 4 for the Boise State football team. It was such a pleasure to have him on, and we were so enamored with what he was saying that I forgot to read the intern report. And the intern was not very pleased with me.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. She works really hard on those things.
She does. And after we finished that episode, I was like, oh shit, I forgot to read the intern report. And so and Cyrus was like, who's the intern? And I was like, who's the intern? I said, and I showed Cyrus, her report last week, and his jaw was on the floor. There was a pool of drool. He was very impressed, intern. So let me make it up to you by reading it right now. Let's see.
Are you going to read 2?
No, I'm going to read just the one she wrote this week.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Let's see. Oregon, Colorado. Freshman running back Byron Cardell had a great weekend. Oh, my God. 7 carries, 127 yards, and a touchdown. Go Ducks. No question. Michigan State was an awesome game. Michigan State sealed that dub in the interception in the fourth quarter. Georgia, Florida. I mean, Georgia's just an absolute machine. 3 massive turnovers from the defense. Auburn, Ole Miss. Solid game from Bo Nix. 3 touchdowns. Matt Corral struggled and also got injured. And then in the NFL, good morning backup quarterbacks. Trevor Siemian led the Saints to a victory against the Bucs. That was quite a performance by Trevor Siemian. Let's see who else. Cooper Rush had a big win on Sunday Night Football against the Vikings. Big injury weekend. Jameis Winston out with a torn ACL. Derrick Henry could be out for the rest of the season with a foot injury. Seahawks, Jaguars. They finally won a fucking game. Jesus Christ. They destroyed the Jaguars. Travis Homer returning an onside kick. He returned an onside kick, which I know nobody in this room has an appreciation for, but it is one of the craziest plays in football. Travis Homer did it. DK had a great game, and they beat the resident dirtbag Urban Meyer. Patriots, Chargers. Mac Jones beats Justin Herbert. A pick 6 early in the fourth quarter by Adrian Phillips gave the Patriots the late lead and sealed the win. The World Series is going on. Baseball, because Tiller isn't here, of course. Can you cut to his tombstone? Of course, he's not here with us, but he's with us in spirit. Right now, the Braves are up 3-2 in the series. They're heading back to Houston. Game 6 is tonight. Let's see if it's going on right now. Let me get a quick score, because I am curious, because fuck the Astros. Pieces of shit. Braves are up, top 5. Let's go. That's great news. Thank you, intern, for all you do. And with that being said, let me just get our special guest ready. I do, the old saying, while the tiller's away, Shermy shall play, has never been truer. Don't you think?
I genuinely do not notice a difference in your attitude. I think you're a little less hostile today, I will say.
Well, he does bring the worst out in me.
He does. That was probably the tamest I disagree I've ever experienced between you and Salmon just then.
Mm-hmm.
It was refreshing.
Good.
Well, the phone call also kind of takes away a little bit of the...
A little bit. There's not as much
animosity.
confrontation to it.
Yeah. And I think he also pokes your buttons, so... Obviously.
Tiller? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think when we're kind of in this setting, it's a little easier for you to relax.
Tiller likes to poke people's buttons. He does an unfortunately really good job of it.
After I've lived with him for 4 years, 5 years now, and you think it would not bother me at this point.
It will always bother you.
But it does.
It bothers you the way that I equate it is Tiller is a younger brother. Mm-hmm. Who grew up with an older sister. Mm-hmm. So the way that he pushes people's buttons are the way that he knows will just annoy that person to the extreme. It's the same way that my brother is with me. Tiller pushes my buttons the same way that Ben pushes my buttons, and I can't fucking stand it sometimes.
He's just the worst,
Shout out to the oldest in the families in the group.
Yeah, no kidding.
Super fun.
We're all older siblings.
We are.
Tiller's the only one who is the baby.
That's why he's a little beach.
That's why he's a real piece of shit. All right. We're ready for him.
Speak of the devil.
Speak of the devil. We're going to call the other half of the Backburners, Sam Tiller. Of course. Of course.
He makes us wait.
Hello.
Wow, that was really nice the way that you really let that phone ring. Really appreciate that one.
Dude, sorry. I'm at dinner, or not at dinner. I'm eating dinner at a family friend's house right now, and we're in the middle of it, and so I had to excuse myself from the dinner table. I couldn't just get up and leave.
How dare you not prioritize
Go back to the dinner table. Put it on
go
speaker.
back.
Put it on speaker. Let's make it a group thing.
Throw the phone in the middle of the table because you have important shit that you need to do.
Jesus, what is your problem today?
We were just talking so nicely about you before we called you.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just getting attacked.
You should. You should feel that way because,
man,
you know what? We've had a great time in the studio without you. It's been so nice. Yeah. I haven't looked across at this fucking oaf This hairy oaf that likes to fucking, really push my buttons.
Well, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like you really miss me.
Let me tell you right now.
And you're having a little bit of withdrawals, I think. You're having killer withdrawals.
It's not a terrible take.
You think I'm having withdrawals? You think I'm addicted to you?
You 100% are.
You think so?
Oh, I know so, son.
Son.
I mean, that explains the nighttime cuddles that I have been missing.
My bed's felt a little colder.
my bed's been emptier since you haven't been here. Speaking of,
yeah, well, I do have to comfort you when you wet your bed.
Yeah, of course.
It's pretty embarrassing that a 25-year-old old man still has to come to daddy when he wets his bed.
Well, that makes two people in this room who have a problem with wetting the bed.
Oh my God.
Thank you for joining. Of course, this is also your show, so of course you had to.
It is.
You have to be here.
I am the more entertaining piece, so yeah.
Yeah, we'll use that word.
Interesting.
Are you serious?
You didn't hear the sound effect, but you know exactly what I just hit, Tiller.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
serious?
Can you get a poll up on the Instagram really quick? Just for hard numbers. Would you be okay with if Chef LaRocca put up an Instagram story saying who is the more entertaining backburner since you apparently just started a war?
I'm pretty sure it's me. You guide the show. I bring life to the show.
Okay.
You keep us on track, and I'm more of like the knowledge and pizzazz.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's get into it because I don't want to be in the basement forever.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. Okay. So what do we have left? We of course have to go over line of the week.
Yep.
So let's start with that. Of course, since I am the leader, the supreme leader of line
What's
of the
your
week.
record now?
I am 7-2.
All right. Dude, your line you were probably shitting a brick last week watching that.
I was checking my phone like there was no tomorrow. Thank you to the Tennessee Titans for pulling out the big win.
Got fucking lucky. You got lucky that Carson Wentz threw that interception.
Thank you, Carson Wentz. I really appreciate it. Okay, so I'm 7-2, of course, because I'm great. My line of the week this week, the Las Vegas Raiders -3 versus the New York Football Giants. Although I will say the New York Football Giants the past couple of weeks have been putting up some great fights, have been playing some great football. They are on a short
They
week.
played the Chiefs.
Listen. They're coming off a short week. They're playing. It's a quick turnaround from a Monday to a Thursday game. I think the Raiders.
Whoa! They're playing on Thursday.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure.
No, that is not. There's no way they're making a team play Monday night and then Thursday night. That's not possible.
Let me hold on.
There's no way the NFL would. That's 2 days of rest. There's no way.
Oh, damn it! They're playing Sunday.
You're an idiot. Are you serious?
Are you serious?
Whoops. Regardless, Raiders -3 versus the Giants, who have not a full week of rest, but 5 days. Anyways, I'm the leader. You can't tell me what to do. I'm not an idiot because apparently I can pick against the spread better than you can. The intern's line, she is 6-3. Of course, she has jumped you because you're a fucking L. The intern.
I'm coming back.
The intern is taking the Cincinnati Bengals -2.5 versus the Cleveland Browns. A bold pick there, intern. Not bold.
Wait, what was it? Sorry, I wasn't kind of listening to you.
Of course you weren't. Bengals -2.5 versus the Browns.
Okay, the Browns are sucky, and Baker might not play, so I kind of like it.
Okay.
Although the Bengals did just lose to the Jets.
That's why I was saying it was a bit of a bold take because the Bengals just dropped a fucking game to Mike White. Mike White.
Yeah, I don't even.
The man who will fix your sink.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is. But I mean, the Bengals have some impressive wins. They beat the Ravens, so
we'll see. Okay. Well, what do you got for your line, pal?
I got the Chargers -2.5 against Shit, who are they playing?
Eagles.
Eagles. Yeah, Eagles. Tough week last week for the Chargers, but I think they bounced back in Philly. Justin Herbert's going to have another MVP-like performance, and minus 2.5. They definitely win by a field goal. Philly is not great,
But their defense is.
But if you can stop Jalen Hurts from running the football, then they have no offense. He is their offense, and with Miles Sanders out, if you can prevent the dual threat from Jalen Hurts, I think they are super one-dimensional and not a talented football team at all.
You make a very compelling argument.
Thank you.
Of course, because you just need more fire to stoke your ego. Of course.
There you go.
Of course.
Yep. The entertaining backburner. At it again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think whoever wins or whoever loses this debate on the most entertaining backburner, I think there should be a punishment and or a reward for the winner.
What should it be?
I'm more down for a reward instead of a punishment.
A reward for the winner?
Because or if we do a punishment, then whoever the reward for the winner will be to get to pick the other person's punishment. How's that sound?
Okay.
Not a bad idea.
A little dual threat.
The winner of
The poll.
of the most entertaining backburner poll, go to our Instagram story, and make sure you click the right person.
I thought this was for line of the week.
Don't put it up right now.
Or is it for the poll?
I already put it up.
Yeah, she already put it up.
Okay.
So go to our
I
Instagram.
was gonna say because some people aren't gonna listen to this until tomorrow, and then the story might be down.
Well, how about we have it going until you get back, Tiller? And if the Instagram
That's
story
next week.
Yeah, well, you have to do the punishment until you get you have to wait to do the punishment until you get back anyways.
Because if they listen to the podcast, the numbers might be skewed. So this way they don't know why they're voting on this poll, you know?
Maybe.
That's true.
So I think you kind of want it to be more unanimous.
I just voted for myself.
That's not allowed.
I mean, Tiller's going to go vote for himself.
I just did it as well.
That's awesome. I'm winning.
Yeah. So you did Are You Serious with Fish, correct?
Yes, I did. Are You Serious with Fish?
Okay. So I have an honorable mention for Are You Serious?
Are you serious?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Von Miller to the Rams.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Are you fucking serious?
The Rams need another defensive player that can put pressure on the quarterback. It's pretty ridiculous with how cheap they got him to. 2 second-day draft picks, I believe, for next year. But, I mean, he's not what he's used to be. He's not in his prime. But if he's not an every down edge guy, I think he can be extremely productive. He's going to be a specialty guy for them, just to throw in on third downs when they need a pass rush. I mean, he's an 8-time Pro Bowler and a Super Bowl champion for a reason. The man's a stud. So it's just infuriating and mind-blowing how the Rams can just continue to do this and not run out of draft picks or cap space. It just blows my mind. I don't know how they're doing it. The NFL should look into the Rams because they're doing some shady shit.
Yeah, I think it'll be similar to a J.J. Watt type of thing with the Cardinals, where he's not going to be a 3-down defender, but when he is in, you have to pay attention to him.
Yeah, he's past that time in his career. But still, he's an 8-time Pro Bowler for a reason. He can still get to the quarterback. And if he's fresh late in the fourth quarter when they need him, that's going to be that's why they traded for him.
Just what the Seahawks need is another elite defender in the NFC West. Perfect.
Yeah, I know. It's just wonderful with the worst offensive line in the league, and you get to face Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, and now Von Miller 6 times a year. So
sick. Sick.
So, yeah. Oh, and can't forget about Bosa.
Oh, how could we not forget? And Fred Warner.
It's just not fun. It's really not.
Now you are currently not here, and of course you'll watch when you watch the YouTube tomorrow. You will see that we have honored you in such a fantastic way in studio.
Fuck me. I'm not going to be able to watch the YouTube tomorrow because I'm traveling.
Oh no.
Oh
I might be in the
no.
car.
Oh, it's like you're shit out of luck.
Well, maybe I'll just I don't know. Maybe I'll pull it up for a hot sec, but I'm probably going to listen to it on Spotify. But I'll definitely have to pull it up to see the surprise.
Yeah, I think we've created, a memorable sort of memento for you.
Sure.
You're a piece of shit.
Well, you'll see. You don't even know what it is.
I don't even know what it is, but I already know you're a piece of shit.
Tiller, if it makes you feel any better, he wouldn't let me sit in your spot.
Oh, that's good.
She is featured on the camera though, which raises some concern. But
Yeah,
Wow.
you have
Probably
been
gonna have
usurped.
Some lower viewership this episode. But
Oh,
that's all right.
wow. Low blow.
Okay,
or disturbingly higher viewership.
right.
Wait, does she also have a microphone?
I do.
Yeah, she has a microphone.
Ah, fuck.
I know, Taylor, you were gone for one episode and shit just hit the fan.
Look what you did.
It's like falling apart. Like,
Well, it felt weird to
just
show
end
just
it
like
now.
the wide shot and just have like Sherman in a large empty room by himself, So
Yeah,
we needed like
true.
another subject.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing.
Don't worry, she's been talking minimally.
Yeah, her volume has been cut. She's had a few
good.
sentences, but I couldn't.
Great work, Fabio.
I couldn't cut her mic and not include her. It has to be like a give and a take. It's either we include her fully on camera or we give her a mic. So,
Absolutely.
it's really it really was just picking and choosing a battle.
Okay.
But
I
like,
understand.
yeah, I'm glad you do, and I'm glad we won't have to talk about it when you get back in person. You of course, you are not with us in studio today. You are currently out on an adventure, having sex with bears, starting forest fires,
He's finding
I
himself.
actually prefer wolves.
fucking wolves
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
because
It's a little more hardcore.
you fuck wolves.
Well, they are trying to repopulate in Montana, so
That's right.
Tiller's
There's
the man for
plenty
the
of wolves
job.
here, trust me.
I guess they're just repopulating werewolves more than
That's right.
regular wolves. But
You, Sam Tiller, are going to be, not patient zero, but I guess daddy zero of werewolves.
it's kind of like the Delivery Man movie with Vince Vaughn, but with wolves.
That's right. Can you tell the viewers what you've been up to and what's next up on your docket?
Yeah, so I've just been traveling Montana. I've put about 1,500 miles on my car in the last week. It's been a lot of driving. Went up to Glacier National, and let me tell you what, that is a beautiful area. Probably the most beautiful area of the country I've ever been in. And I was in Bozeman today, staying in a little town called Big Timber with some good family friends. And then tomorrow it's down to Yellowstone. And then over to Billings, Montana, and then back home to Boise. So about halfway through my 2-week trip.
I heard you have
been wonderful.
Brian Laundrie in the backseat of your car. Is that true?
I got what?
I heard you have Brian Laundrie in the backseat of your car. Is that true?
What do you say?
Brian Laundrie.
Oh my God.
Harboring him and his remains.
That is so bad. That's like not even funny.
I hate how the van life, like live in your car thing was like kind of cool for a while there, and then they just ruined it. Now anyone's like, I'm doing van life. It's like, oh, you're gonna murder your girlfriend? Like that's just the new standard.
Oh, you bought a van? I'm gonna tip off Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah,
Dude, I
Vans
don't
went
even
from
know
like
what van
creepy. Vans went from creepy pedophile move to like really cool like hippie move, and now they're just back down to creepy.
This girl that I went to school with in Santa Barbara just posted on Instagram the other day, like, me and my boyfriend are starting our 2-year journey of living in the van and traveling across the United States. And my friend sends it to me. She goes, kind of weird to do after the whole Gabby Petito thing.
Yeah, a little soon. Or at least don't post, like, don't vlog the whole thing. Especially if you're going to murder your girlfriend. Stop vlogging. That's all I got to say.
Right. Okay, enough of that.
Yeah, we should probably
Enough
wrap
of
this up.
God.
I also just briefly wanted to touch on the college football rankings. I don't know if you guys already talked about it or not.
We did, but I would love to discuss it with you.
Okay, I mean, like I've been saying this entire college season, right? It's been bananas, and I think these rankings reflect that. Like Oklahoma at 8 is pretty nuts. Cincinnati at 6, I feel like they're underrated at this point. Their strength of schedule wasn't great, but they did beat Notre Dame at home. It's just it is the first week, and I know people are going to lose their minds. But all of this is going to work itself out. Alabama is going to play Georgia. Ohio State plays Michigan State and Michigan. It's all going to figure itself out, and people always lose their shit early on. But for what it's worth, I think the committee did a pretty good job of determining what is what at this point, because I don't think anybody – I don't think no matter what they did, people were going to be happy with it. But I think they are setting the base layer for madness to just ensue in college football, and I'm looking forward to the next month of games. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think the committee did a really good job of first acknowledging that Oregon has a better strength of schedule and a better strength of record, and has the tiebreaker over Ohio State. And then I think they also
that was a big portion of the rankings. Like head-to-head matchup was big. If you look at the top 25, like if they put a team at 18 and they played a team that's very similar to them, but they lost, that team was at 17 or 16. Like they did, that was consistent across the entire rankings.
Yeah. So I think they nailed that. And I think they nailed the ranking for Oklahoma.
Yeah, I do too. They're not a top 4 team in the country right now. We'll see what Caleb Williams can do, but they haven't been impressive.
No, especially going down early against Texas. They've been inconsistent. Let's see. I'm looking.
They beat a 1-8 Tulane team by 5 points.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been inappropriately ranked the entire season thus far.
That's why the College Football Playoff Committee was invented, because people understand the flaws in the AP poll.
And even in the BCS, I mean, the whole it's like, let's leave the playoffs up to a fucking computer.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, so I think the top 6 was was obviously what everyone was looking out for. Was where was Oregon going to go? Where was Cincinnati, Ohio State? How were they? What was that 4 spot going to be? And I think they did a good job.
I do too. I kind of was pissed about the Oklahoma ranking. But again, I think they're going to lose to Georgia, so they're not even going to be in the playoffs, so we don't have to worry about that. If I could kind of make a projection here, I kind of project this as Georgia being undefeated, number 1. And then I'm going to take Michigan State out of the Big Ten. They're going to be my number 2 team, undefeated Big Ten champion, Michigan State, calling it right now.
Okay.
And then I think Oregon wins out. If they can get past the Buskies this weekend, then they'll be fine. So they win out. They're gonna be my number 3 team at the end of this, and then Cincinnati's gonna be my number 4. I think Cincinnati goes undefeated, and Oklahoma goes undefeated, but Oklahoma is just unimpressive, and it'd be fun to see a non-Power 5 in the playoffs.
Yeah, people have been calling for that forever, like whether it's UCF or whether it's one of these other.
Yeah, and Cincinnati, when they played Georgia in the bowl game last year, they played them tight, and they could have won that football game.
It's so fun to watch this season play out, because it's such a Wild West thing. There's no one. I mean, obviously, no, Georgia's obviously the team to beat, but it's not like in previous years where you have Georgia, you have Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, whatever it may be, all the red teams. It's like let's minimize the amount of red in the top 4.
Yeah, let's get some dark green. Let's get some yellow. Let's get some black in there with Cincinnati. Like, come on, let's make this interesting.
Well, I think we're out of show, my friend.
Yeah, I'm pretty done talking to you. So.
Okay. Well,
Glad to know you've missed us, Tiller.
I haven't heard anybody around the house say that they've missed you.
Oh, so anybody? So you and Miles? That's like so many people.
Well,
And like Miles just hangs out with Alyssa all the time. So like,
I'm not here to say.
It's really just you.
I'm not here to say that. I'm not here really to reveal any names, aliases, likenesses, anything like that. I'm just saying that there's not really been a whole lot of buzz about missing you. So
okay, that's fine. I really don't give a shit.
Good. Can you take us out?
Oh, yeah. And that will conclude another great half of an episode of the Backburners because I wasn't there for the first half. Sorry about that. Shout out to the ugliest co-host of all time, Pinhead Larry, and of course, wonderful young Fabio. Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok at the Backburners Pod and listen to us on your favorite streaming service or the Backburners, and we'll catch you on the flippity flip.